All right, what's good? What's good? What's good this morning, man? This is the Pearson podcast, episode 4. Had to get my man in here, Jacskoc Politte, man. What you got going on this morning, man?
Not a whole lot. Just getting ready to go back to Jackson. Get back to work.
Get back to work, man. Let's talk about Jackson State first off. Well, let's start from the first. How's it been this summer? What you been doing this summer since you left?
Really just kind of taking it easy, still working out, trying to stay in shape, but kind of just like having fun with my friends, like playing basketball, golfing. Golfing actually helps my mental game a lot.
Yeah.
I kind of related a lot to snapping. It's like, it's the same motion. If I have a bad shot, I can't think about it no more. But, I've just been kicking it with my friends, relaxing, and trying to kind of cool off because, snapping's a pretty stressful position.
Yeah.
So I try to take away from that and, just kick it.
That's right. All right, man. Let's go to Lubbock-Cooper. Let's talk about Lubbock-Cooper, man.
Let's do it.
Let's see what stuck with you the most, man, with Coach Cadway, with the culture. As far as Lubbock-Cooper goes, y'all got a lot of kids going next level, not just D1, D2, IA, D3. Talk about the culture over there at Lubbock-Cooper.
Yeah, I grew up in that program. I was the ball boy when I was in, 5th to 7th, 8th grade. So, I looked up to a lot of guys like Jared Dagey and Jared Gibson and, even Nehemiah, and I was playing with them. And so I think it's kind of like a continuing cycle of guys looking up to other guys and wanting to be like them and, putting that work in. And Coach Darden and Coach Cat always held people accountable and wanted to get the best out of us, and I think he did.
Yeah, Coach, talk about, were you there, Coach Cadway, Coach?
I never played for him, but I was there when he was there.
Hell of an administrator, man. I was there with
Yeah.
Coach, man. He took on the new culture, if you know what I mean, and he really embraced it. I remember him doing a couple of tests and stuff, right? Y'all won a couple of games. Man, what was your most memorable game at Lubbock-Cooper?
I've got to say probably our district game against Ryder my senior year.
Yeah.
Day after Thanksgiving, everyone's families are there. I think we were down 17 or something like that.
Yeah.
Start the second half, we came back. We had this play design where Kobe was in, Kyler Jordan are in, like I'll be playing offense, and we run this play every day in practice to start the play. In practice, I've never got to throw the ball. Like we're supposed to run it, or supposed to drop it off to the flat. But I don't know, whatever happened that day, I came across from the left to the right, and I was wide open. Caught a pass to go down one, and then Rylan Wilcox, we got in a wildcat, and he ran to the outside. Ben Marskowski had a great seal block on that, so we ended up winning that game, and that's probably the best memory I have.
Man,
sure.
And a lot of them, man, because y'all, it's a standard of excellence over there at Lubbock-Cooper. Man, let's talk about position change because you were a wide receiver. Right? And now, you signed as a specialist, a snapper, deep snapper for Jackson State. How did that all come together?
So, I wasn't always the best receiver. I had a good senior year, but I remember it starts out in 7th grade. They're trying to get this kid to learn how to snap and this big old lineman, and I was like, you know what, I bet I could do that,
Yeah.
Trying to find a way to get on the field, and I kind of did it all throughout middle school, all throughout high school, while still playing receiver. And, I didn't think too much of it. I thought it was just like a way for me to get on the field because my junior year I wasn't playing a ton. Sophomore year I got moved up to snap to varsity for the playoffs. And then, I just stuck with it, and then ended up getting me to one of the hottest D1s in the country right now.
Yeah. Speaking of, let's talk about that, man. Dion Sanders.
Yeah.
That's maybe the best cornerback of all time to me.
No doubt.
And how is it playing for him? And, with him here coming to cameras, that's an HBCU. You were, like you say, the first player Lubbock-Cooper ever to sign HBCU. That's
right.
Historical and unbelievable. But talk about a day in the life with Dion Sanders over there coaching with you guys.
You wake up, go to a meeting, and he's already speaking his mind, speaking his truth to you. It's a lot to take in because he has so much wisdom and so much power, really.
Yeah.
And it's just been great to learn from him and kind of just be around him because I want to coach one day.
Yeah.
And I think him and his whole staff have plenty of qualities I can take from that.
Absolutely.
And he's just always speaking so much wisdom to the team about not just about football but about life as well.
Life, yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about the viral moment, man, in the locker room.
Okay.
Man, that was crazy, man. I mean, it was a nice. Y'all had to post some of my hitter. We know what it really say,
right?
And it was an unedited version in y'all's video. But man, that video took off millions and millions of views, man. Had you in the background, a bunch of us brothers, man.
Yeah.
Tell me, was it awkward? How did it? I mean, I seen you put your helmet on. I seen you smile, but man, when they were saying that, I mean, how did it feel to be in that locker room? I mean, how many white guys in the locker room?
I think at that time it was about maybe 6 or 7. Now it's about 12.
Good.
And so, so that game is my first ever college game. I remember running out. Shout out Coach Poe, my dad, but he was crying when I ran out.
Yeah.
And we're just in there kind of getting ready. I knew I probably wasn't going to play that game, but I'm trying to stay ready and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
And so start playing that song and kind of get a kick out of it. I'm like, all these cameras around. I just put my helmet on. I was like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna get canceled. So.
Man, that you know what? That cancel culture is real.
Yeah.
And these kids have to understand the power of social media.
No doubt.
Like it can help you a lot, but it can really destroy you as well, man. Because like you say, nowadays it's not the 80s. You do, anything you do is documented. Even if you get rid of it, somebody out there screenshotting everything you put to use it against you.
Yeah.
Basically, so or even coaches, looking. So you have to be careful with what you project out there to the masses.
Right.
Speaking of that, let's talk about. Now I know you saw that Louisiana is past NIL for high school.
Right.
And you are a next level player, so I feel like you kind of can speak on this. What do you think about NIL? Tell people how hard it is to get one, because a lot of people think in NIL everybody can get it, and that's not true.
No.
That's probably 1%, maybe 1% of the whole nation. Because even in college, you still got to be the top tier of the best to get an NIL. So talk to me about the NIL in college, and then about high school. What are your thoughts about high school kids getting NIL deals?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an NIL deal, which, it makes sense, right? Yeah. Not a lot of people are looking for a D snapper. But, and I could, but it's just nothing. I'd rather focus on the game and stuff.
Absolutely.
And so I think with high school, there's a ton of kids that draw in a lot of attention, like Kobe. Like, imagine the money Kobe would have made his senior year.
Ooh,
come on,
a lot. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you should be restricted for having a large influence.
Right.
Just because you're in high school means you can't get paid for your influence or whatever. Like, even if someone wanted to pay Kobe, like, come talk to their kids, or pay Kyler Jordan to come talk to their kids, they couldn't because, those rules are in place. I say,
like a lot of people say that it's wrong for kids to get NIL to high school. Now, first of all, off the bat, they're going to have to get some structure. It's not like college.
Right.
College, to me, free for all. I think that's too much. But then again, they grown men.
Yeah.
And grown businesses. You know what I mean? But like for high school, like for instance, it could be me. I'd be like, hey, man, some kids coming up. What if Brennan and Kobe was kids? I'd have to pay them, but I would, what I'm saying? Because they bring the, the engagement. But I'm just saying that high school, to me, I think it's going to have to, they're going to have to put some rules like, GPA or, pass, but that'll come to the business. But I just, like I said, I'm surprised California and Louisiana already do it. But Texas, we always laugh to the party, right? With everything. You remember we had our kids, adults had to go to the strip to get liquor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And everybody else in the world passed that, get beer inside St. Louis, we couldn't. So, I mean, I think it needs to be worked out, but just to come into the board for a vote in January shocked me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, it's 5-6 years away. It may not be, regardless of who like and who don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's so new at the college level too. Which I don't know if there's a lot of structure there either.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff, and there's not like a rule book I can go look at and be like, is this right? Like, I got to talk to, someone that's a part of the support staff at Jackson. So
yeah, it's
a lot of stuff. Can get kind of risky.
Let's talk about the transfer portal. I call it the black hole.
Yeah.
Tell these kids, that commit somewhere, how important it is to try to me, figure it out at their school and to try to hang in there, because man, we got some kids. I know a few kids from 806 that's in the transfer portal, and they haven't found a home in months, and I don't think they're gonna find a home.
Right.
It's tough, man. You're not gonna. This is college. You're not gonna get to go somewhere and just play day one. You know what I'm saying? So talk to me about the transfer portal and how, to me, I call it's detrimental to the game.
Yeah.
Talk to me about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has its benefits and negatives for a lot of different people. Like, I know guys on my team that, basically almost got cut, but, they enter the transfer portal because they're good players, but Jackson State's getting a bunch of good players. Right? Yeah. Like, everyone's a good player there.
Yeah.
And so, like, they're leaving and they're getting, like, D3 in Missouri, D3 in Kentucky, all those, like, smaller schools up north that are just looking for anybody.
Absolutely.
And so, I mean, to be confident in the transfer portal, you would have had to done some good at your school already. It's not like you can go here and play, and nothing works out, and like, oh, I'll check the portal and go play wherever I want. Like, I know what I got. You might know what you got, but those coaches haven't seen any game film.
Absolutely.
And so, I mean, and college is kind of a business, right? Because coaches can pack up and leave whenever they want, which I think the transfer portal is good for that.
Yeah.
Like, if a coach can get up and leave, I think a player should be able to get up and leave, because I know I went to play for Coach Prime.
Right.
Absolutely. Like, God forbid anything happens with that, and I don't think it will, but I think it's good that, if a new coach comes in that I don't like, I can be like, hey,
Yeah, I gotta go.
And so, I mean, it's weird because, you see a lot of the big guys, a lot of the really, really, really good players into the portal because a coach leaves or something like that.
Yeah.
And they find success.
Yeah.
And, but for the guys that haven't gotten a lot of playing time or aren't making a lot of noise, it's super tough.
Yeah, it is.
They can almost be done.
Yeah, you ain't lying. I saw a poster your dad sent me. Shout out to Coach Poe, man, his family.
Yeah.
The poster for Jackson State this year, it had you on there from Lubbock-Cooper and had Dimitri Jordan on there from Coronado. Yeah. Like, people understand how big that is for us. I've been covering 9 years in August. I've never seen that. Yeah. That's the first time ever. Like, that's history, man. Like, I know it don't seem like much, but it is, man. For these kids around here, man. In Jackson State, like you say, it's popping right now. You know what I'm saying? So, talk to me about that, and how did that come? Did they even tell you, or you just, because I know y'all do photo shoots? Yeah. And how did that come about?
Well, they had picked one person from each position group to do a photo shoot. Okay. And, I wasn't thinking anything of it. I was like, maybe I'll be on like a ticket, or something like that. Yeah. And then I saw that poster on Twitter for the first. I had no idea. I looked at it and I was like, dang, like. Wow. Like, I used to walk into a restaurant and see the tag guys on the poster and be like, oh, dang, that's sweet, Yeah, that's a big deal. So, it's crazy. It feels like, this whole last year, it's just been up and up and up. Like, there's a different thing that happens to me that makes me feel like I got what I deserve. Yeah.
Let's talk about, speaking of what we deserve, let's talk about 806 athletes. And like I say, it's not just me. I think media-wise, we're finally starting to catch up. I think we got a long way to go. Like that song from Common, you come so far, but you still got so far to go. We almost there, man. But talk to me about exposure, how it's changed for the 806. We're not the Metroplex, but I kind of feel like we kind of getting on the same level. We have, basketball-wise, we got the, number 1 player in the country, or number 1 point guard in the country, number 3 player, Leah Chavez. Football, we had Kobe, one of the top 3 linebackers in the nation. Brennan Thompson, winning gold medal, running 10-2s and 27s. Talk to me about how it's changed as far as exposure, because maybe 10 years ago, people don't see that. Yeah, they seeing it now.
For sure. I mean, one thing that helped me and my buddies with exposure is, having guys like Kyler Jordan and Kobe on our team. Yeah. Because those coaches come, they might see something they like out of you. And even if they don't, it's, you got your opportunity, you got your chance.
Here's another thing, real quick. Like you say, kids got to understand that. Parents, too, if you're playing with a superior player, take advantage, because the coach is coming to look at that kid or whatever. Right. What if your kids show out? Yeah. They might get an offer. You know what I'm saying? That's what people don't understand, But I'd rather play in front of 4 or 5 coaches that's coming to look at a young man or a young woman and have a chance to make an impression on them, because they looking at them, but they looking at you too.
Right. I mean, if you're playing together, if you're on the same side of the ball, you're on their film. Yeah. They see what you do. And so, that's something that was fun. And I mean, like, seeing those kind of coaches come up every day, like Texas, OU, whatever. so many big schools came whenever Lincoln Riley had left OU.
Yeah.
I remember checking the Twitter every day of football LCP. It's like, oh, Preventable is here today.
Yeah.
Coach Sark from Texas is here today. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. I remember when I first started, like in 2013, 14, we'd be happy with 2, 3 kids or, McMurray. Now, like for instance, y'all's class.
Yeah.
2021, 2019 is the class that I kind of really look back to. King Doru, he's at Purdue. Brandon White went to Baylor. I mean, it was so many cats from that. Blair Conrad at TCU.
He's still balling.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. I think 2022, Brennan Thompson, Kobe, your class. And here's another thing I want to ask you about. Being a specialist, getting to D1. You got to tell kids that, it's not that hard. Like you say, you try to just get on the field, right?
Yeah.
In 7th grade, and look what it amassed to. Now you had a D1 offer playing with Coach Prime. Tell people, it's not that hard to go somewhere and play, but it's not just the quarterback, the wide receiver.
Right.
Colleges need everything, man. So, so how, not easier, but, how quicker was it to get exposed doing good deep snapping than it was at wide receiver?
I mean, the market for deep snappers is a lot smaller than it is to play receiver.
Yeah.
And, if you're the most physically gifted person, you're not going to play long snapper.
Right.
And I'd like to say I'm one of the more athletic long snappers in the country for sure.
Yeah.
But that's where I find my advantage. Like I can snap, I can run down there and make a tackle and cover and punt.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I just started early too, and kind of stayed with it. And I mean, it was God had ordered my steps from then, and I'm thankful for it. So.
Yeah, man. Like you said, you one of the guys in 806, one of the 2 or 3% that went next level. You know what I'm saying? And to me, Jackson State's a big deal. That's not just a regular college. D1, of course, first HBCU. You made a lot of history. That's why I had to get you in there. So, man, lastly, our last question, what would you tell the youngsters, man, trying to come up, trying to get a next level offer? We can't just say D1. Everybody can't go D1.
Right.
That's what we got to understand, too. Everybody cannot go D1. That's special. Maybe you can go to JUCO, go hard, and then go D1. Like I say, Jess Hole's going to do. He's going to Navarro, but I think he'll end up on the D1 roster.
Yeah.
He's good.
No doubt.
Trent White going to the Army. He may play there too, go to Portland, go big time D1 because he's a heck of a tailback.
That's what Nehemiah did.
Yeah. Xavier White, Nehemiah Martinez. It's so many 806 players
on Tech.
Shout out to Tech, man.
Yeah.
Tech got a lot of kids from the 806, man.
It's not always been like that.
Coach done came in and really just took over, man. And I talked to a few of them coaches daily, man. They good people, man. I like the direction they're going. But like you say, now you got to win.
Right.
Because he did it this way, to go, 806 wise and West Texas wise. But if they don't win, they're going to have to go back to the old way. You know what I mean? But if we start winning, all these kids going to go to Tech, to be a pipeline.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm rooting for him. I got a lot of friends on that team, and I think Coach McGuire's got something good cooking up over there. And it's not like he was at some bummy school last year. Baylor.
Yeah, Baylor, yeah.
He was playing for a Big 12 championship last year.
Absolutely.
And so, hopefully he can bring some of those, culture values and everything like that, which he already is.
Yeah.
So it'll just be up to those guys to execute, I think. I think they got a lot of talent. That's the deepest QB room in the nation.
Jeez, man. I don't know how you're going to get on the field. I mean.
Sure. Donovan Smith lights us up for 50-plus and 4 overtimes, and, it's crazy.
That may have been the game.
That was the game of the year. That
Bro, I'm still sad I missed that game.
Yeah.
What a game.
Oh, I remember. So this is probably my most memorable high school snap. It was in the first overtime. We're on the other hash, on the visitor hash.
Yeah.
And I'm looking back at, I don't know if you remember Ty Carter. He was my holder. He was a good receiver too.
Ty good,
yeah. And, I'm looking back there, and our cadence is black, ready. And I'm like, I can't hear a thing. And I'm a junior. My first time on varsity is like our 3rd or 4th game.
Yeah.
I was so nervous. I'm like praying. I'm like, God, please don't let me mess this up. We would have lost. And so, I ended up having a good snap. We made the field goal, but that was the most stressful thing ever.
Man, you know what? You played college ball, right? And you've been in, 2 years of college ball. Which one's more exciting, man? High school or college?
I'm gonna have to say high school for me because it's I'm playing with guys I grew up with my whole life, and I was in a program that I know my whole life, and so I had a lot of course, leading up to varsity, I had so much more invested because I just knew it more.
Yeah.
And so, and you're just with your best friends. I mean, you go to school all day together, you go to practice all day together. You basically you're basically family at that point.
Yeah.
And so, I think they're both super exciting. Don't get me wrong. Like seeing 60,000 people my first start at Jacskoc State.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Unreal.
Yeah.
And so those friendship Cooper games got me kind of ready to see big crowds, but I can't imagine some of those guys play in smaller schools in Mississippi and they're dogs, but there's 500 people at their game, maybe.
Man, that's tough.
Yeah.
You know what? That D2, that JUCO route is tough, man. But I call it a filter for D1.
Yep.
And FCS. If you can make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
Oh yeah.
It's dogs there. They there
for
grades and disciplinary reasons and stuff, but they can flat out play.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I covered it 2013 at South Plains College.
Gotcha.
That was my first journalist thing. I was the sports editor there, and every one of those kids went D1. All 12, they won a championship that year in 2013. They had Marshall Henderson and guys like that on there. Every one of them kids signed, and that's when I was like, what's going on? I had to really, see. And I was like, oh, okay, so these guys can't get the grades. They didn't do it, but they all can play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When they go to the tournament and stuff, we went to the NJCA championship Kansas. It was 100 coaches there. I'm like, they there for JUCO, but I didn't know that. And I know now. Okay, y'all want these kids. Y'all just wait. Right. You got to go to year and get a filter.
Now that you bring that up, I want to say especially being in the D1 program, it's not just about how you play.
Right.
It's about grades.
Yes.
If you show up late, Coach Prime, say you show up late once, he's don't do it again. If you do it again, it depends on how good you are.
Yeah.
If you do it again,
say that.
If you do it again, you're gone. I remember, so we were coming back from Thanksgiving. We were about to head out for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you don't show up on, it's either a Friday or Saturday for practice, don't come back. He's like, your locker will be cleaned out. 2 guys decided they wanted to stay home longer than they're supposed to, and they're gone.
They're gone.
Locker clean. See ya. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's different. That's what I was going to ask you about. What a typical day for you. Let's not compare it to high school. We know it's different.
Yeah.
That's a business in college now.
Yeah.
But what's a typical day for you from get up to go to bed? What's a typical day?
I'll say I wake up about 5:45. We got a team meeting at 7. And so I wake up 5:45, get ready, try to get over there about 6:15, 6:30. Can't be late. So I get dressed, get over to the meeting about 15, 20 minutes early. And, sit through the team meeting. Then we go. Specialists don't have to have a individual, a position meeting because it's kick it good, snap it good.
Yeah.
That's all you can really say.
Yeah.
And so we get ready to go warm up for practice. Practice starts about, 8:10, 8:15. We probably go until about 10, maybe a little later. And, I only go out to the two special teams periods. So say we got punt and kickoff. I got there for punt. For kickoff, I'm just helping out.
Yeah.
And so that actually put me on scout team a few times for the special teams because they know I'm an athlete.
Okay.
But, during practice, it's so weird because I'm used to running routes all the whole time. And, we go to team and I'm on the field the whole time. But now it's just I'm just relaxing, warming up, doing drills, just chilling really. Which it sounds weird to be chilling on the football field, but, I can't snap it too many times. It's like a pitcher count.
Yeah.
But, so practice. And then I get done with practice and then I'll go pick up food. They got this little dining area for us. And then I'll bring it back to my room, eat, watch some YouTube. After that, I'll do some homework. Maybe take a nap if I'm, feeling it. Probably work out if it's a day we have to work out.
Yeah.
Now I'll head over to the weight room, work out. And then I got a job at this gym up in Mississippi that keeps me busy.
Oh, good.
So I'll probably go to work, get some money.
Yeah, got to get paid, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
those NILs ain't calling.
No. They not calling you yet.
No.
If I was Lubbock business, if I was Lubbock business, I would reach out to you because you're making history. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, HBCU for Lubbock-Cooper is crazy. everybody ain't going D1 around here.
Right.
And then another thing, you ain't coming back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people go and they come back home.
Yeah.
They gotta quit coming back home. Tough it out.
I'll say this too. A lot of people think, you know, all this stuff was kind of like given to me or something like that. But I walked on. I was preferred walked on. Did my thing my freshman year. You know, played the homecoming game. Played the next 2 games. The other dude came back. He was a senior. He started the rest of the games, and then not a lot of people know this, but the day before the Celebration Bowl, which is like the biggest HBCU game, it was on ABC Channel 13. You know, like big time game. The day before, Snapper got COVID. So that morning before I wake up, the kicker's like, "Hey, he got COVID." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So we played that game. We didn't play very well. So we played it like 8 times. I had the best game of my life.
Yeah.
You know, snapping, covering, like forcing fair catches, which sounds like, you know, cliche, but
it's
a
big
time.
Job.
Yeah. And so, I'm getting put on scholarship next year, which would be big time for me.
That's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how it works. Like, I remember being 3rd string receiver on a freshman team.
Yeah.
And now as a freshman in college, I'm starting games at the D1 level.
You gonna mess around and have to that Lubbock-Cooper number 5 jersey. It's gonna have to go up in the locker room. Go up in the auditorium, man.
It's a lot of greats that wore that one.
Yeah, that number 5 was a nice jersey. But yeah, man. So I appreciate you coming on, man, and thank you, man, for what you do for for the kids. I seen you talk at the FCA event as well, man.
Sure.
The only way we make it is if we all spread information to the kids, and hopefully they'll listen. There may be 100 in there. If even one gets it, we did our job.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I appreciate you coming on, man, and we gonna keep up with you. Now, last question: Where can we get the poster? Because I want to put that poster in here in the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll let y'all know as soon as I get to Jackson. I'm gonna reach out to my people because my mom wants it too.
Yes.
And so you could print that picture out on Twitter, but we're trying to get a PDF that's more clear and stuff.
I need it.
Out.
Yeah, I want a big one.
For sure.
Shout out to Dimitri Jordan as well.
He's one of our best online. Everyone on the team knows it. Coach Prime knows it. He's a dog for sure.
He's a dog, man. But all right, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Shout out to Jacob Politte, J-Po, man. Thank you for coming on. Thanks, Coach Poe, for making it happen. Y'all have a blessed one, man. Thank y'all. We'll see y'all in a bit.